Morning.
Good morning,
Good evening.
afternoon.
Good day, sir. So there's some action that's happened.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
There's some stuff to see. So I'm Melissa Johnson, and this is my sweet husband.
Todd Johnson.
And we are the owners of the Marshall Garden Company. Um, and this stuff around here today, we are looking at logs and huge piles of dirt that make Todd want to play. What's the game?
King of the Mountain. We used to play it as kids.
So we'll walk y'all around the, what do you call this?
The job site. It's officially a job site now.
It's officially a job site.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're trying to do over the next several weeks is walk people through, I guess, the build out, the construction, the dirt moving.
There's a lot of dirt moving.
There's a lot of land moving happening. But we thought it would also be fun to kind of walk through what it's like for us to be starting a business together in my great hometown and our great home state.
Texas.
We're both East Texas people, true and true. And so we thought it'd be fun to kind of document what we're doing. And today I have questions to ask, just to kind of steer us in some discussion. You ready?
I'm ready.
You got anything you want to add?
Let me have a little sip of coffee.
I got a sip of coffee too. Cheers to the dirt moving, or not cheers. We got our gas station coffee.
Local gas station, good coffee.
That's good. That is the Texas pecan coffee, huh?
It is. Texas pecan.
So I guess the first question on here is a good one. What was the first thing you felt when you saw the land being cleared?
I was just kind of like stunned as like how much progression was made in 3 days. There's only been 3 days worth of work on this place, and we have a big pit over here with fire going in it, still smoking and smoldering. We've got a couple of big tractors on the place here, and a lot of logs that we have cut. We'll show y'all.
Yeah.
And the beauty of the pond. I was really just seeing the pond and how much land is behind the pond.
Yeah. It was amazing to me. So we pulled up yesterday evening, and the sky had kind of fallen out because it rained really, really hard all of a sudden. But we made it to the corner of 390 and Fern Lake, and you could immediately see the progress that the guys have been making so far. And it really does help you see the pond a whole lot better. It helped me see, okay, the building will fit here. Yes, there's enough space for parking. Yes, there's enough space for hoop houses and all the things.
It gave a big impression of, it's a lot more space than what it looked when it was, covered up with trees and brush and all that.
Yeah.
It kind of opened it up. Yeah. And there's still a lot more to open up here that's still not done. So
yeah. It also made me think about I don't know, I felt real good that we were working with like Londale. He's from Marshall. He grew up here. It made me feel real good to be working with like a local guy who, I mean, my grandmother was like, oh, Londale learned how to do all that stuff when he was a kid. He's been doing that since he was a kid. So it was really cool to kind of see him in his zone. And like they're working their behinds off, but like real happy to be doing it.
Yeah, it was handed down to him on how to work the land from his dad or stepdad, and he's handing that down to his children, his sons, and they've been out here his watching his daddy work and all that kind of stuff. So and the young men working on here, it's nice to see young men really working hard at getting something done and feeling pride in what they're doing.
Yeah. When we first started talking to Londale about this project, he said to me, "Oh, that's what I do. Dirt moving. Oh, that's what I do."
Yeah.
And so to get out here just days after they got started,
Very
it's what
easy
he
fella to
does.
deal with. Very easy to work with. He understands the dirt,
Yeah.
and you may have it like I may have it pictured in my head, and then he'd explain. He wouldn't just tell me I'm wrong. He would say you're wrong. He explained why he was right
Yeah.
about what to do,
Yeah.
and it just made me trust that he knew what to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to move dirt. It's not my thing. I haven't ran a backhoe or a
Yeah.
dozer. Seen it done, and you know men that do it know what they're doing. And they're
That's awesome. So my next question is, oh, let me pick one, a good one. What's something people don't realize goes into building a garden center from the ground up?
oh well. I don't know what we don't realize really. I think there's a lot going into any building process. I mean the dirt work here. I mean we're dealing with a piece of property that for the most part is unimproved. We didn't start off with a flat piece of property here. It's or cleared piece of property. It's very wooded,
Hilly.
hilly, all of those things. There's no grade to it. It's just natural. Except we're sitting on a spot that was somebody had put a trailer on. But other than that, you know, we're putting in putting in all the infrastructure for it. There's a lot to plan out in thought process of that, and um, once you put it in place, it's hard to change later. It's one of these things where you have to have some vision really far down the road because if you want to, put in something later, or you don't want to go have to undo a bunch of stuff you already did.
Yeah.
Um, and you think about traffic flow and how people drive into the place, how people drive out of the place, how you take deliveries, how the material comes in, goes, and doesn't want to affect your front door. Uh, all of those things are being thought about in this process, and quite a bit to think about.
So I was gonna say, um, I think a lot of dirt goes into it and a lot of heart goes into it. So Todd is giving a real long, long answer. But like it's a lot of grit. Like, okay, we're just gonna work through this. But one of the things that came to mind for me in building a garden center specifically from the ground up that I think people might take for granted that goes into this is getting to know other experts, other garden center people, but then also like people that work with land and people that work with like, I mean, we got trees down and dozers and all kinds of stuff out here, but you are really working with the people that work with land, and that's kind of cool when you think about, well, gosh, our whole goal is to help people also work with the land.
I think the other thing that was a surprise to me was you talk to people who have never worked with land, and they're they really don't know what it's going to take to do the
Yeah.
project. You've got to get with someone like Londell who knows what working land is
Yeah.
to then before you can even get a budget together or
Yeah.
get an idea of what you can do or not do, because everybody else will just tell you something that's off kilter, and if you listen to them, we would never be sitting here where we're at.
I don't know that because we've had a lot of people give us a bunch of encouragement and that sort of stuff.
Well, what I mean though is, people say, that's unfeasible, or you can't do this, or you can't do that,
Yeah.
and then you talk to someone who actually runs a track hoe, and he says, "Oh, that's easy done. Yeah, I can do that."
um. So
You
then. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say you just see what he's done in 3 days, and you go, "Wow, yeah,
Yeah.
wow."
Um, let's see. What's one feature of this garden center that you insisted we include? And you can answer, and then I'll answer mine. What's something you insisted that we include in this?
I think a master plan, kind of understanding what the master plan is, so that we could go to build toward that. Um,
What's something you say, hey, we have to have this though?
well, we got to have a building.
Well, yesterday he was like, we got to keep that tree.
Yeah, yeah.
One
There's a
yeah.
tree across the pond. It kind of struck me as I want to keep it.
Yeah, we last week you were fishing. Todd came out here and was fishing with my grandmother and my uncle, and they found a black walnut tree. And like, there's some things that we want to like. We're like, oh my gosh, I really got to have that. One of the things that I insisted on us having when we build this out is that like it's really important to me that we have dedicated space for like demonstration gardens and like that are walkable, right? Space to walk through here. So some of that I think we're some sticklers on some stuff that we think we got to have.
Demonstration garden space for employees to cool down.
Oh
I
yeah.
think that's
Employee want to cool down.
you know, you got to have a place for people to cool down. It's hot. We're in Texas. It's muggy. You know, uh,
That's perfect for the next question. The next one is, what part of the Marshall Garden Company do you think the community will love the most?
they're gonna love my pond.
You think the pond?
I think they're gonna.
That's good. I'm with it.
Well, I really think when they drive up, there's going to be a beautiful demonstration garden. I think that's going to start their, start.
That was my answer.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna love. So a demonstration garden, I guess tell what that is. It's just really a way to show people, hey, here's what you can do, here's how it can look. And for me, I want it to be like I want there to be beautiful flower beds that show the sorts of products you can buy here. But then I also have this vision of having some raised beds because I'm a raised bed vegetable garden grower, and to have some stuff that's just always growing in our garden that will represent what you can be growing at your home all the time. So like right now, everybody's growing tomatoes and peppers and that sort of stuff. That's what we would be growing in some of those raised beds. But to also show like here's what it looks like to grow potatoes, or just to have that sort of thing. I think that's going to be pretty special, and I see people like being like, "Oh, that's what it looks like," because oftentimes it's beautiful. My garden at home is really, really pretty in some spots, but God, I put an Instagram video up of that deal, and like I let that deal go to seed, and it's all burnt up and crispy looking, but the caterpillars love it. And so to be able to show that kind of stuff to people in like, hey, here's the pretty of a garden, but here's also the little rugged pieces of it, I think people are going to enjoy that a whole lot.
Yeah,
And
they will.
and I think the pond. I think people are going to love the pond.
Well,
I
the hope is they get out of their car and they see this demonstration garden and go, "Wow, this is beautiful," and then they step in or past that, and then they see the pond. They're like, "Oh, that's beautiful," and the whole experience wraps around them.
Yeah.
It makes them want to come back.
That's good. You ready for another question?
Yeah.
So the next one, we'll go to a fun one. This is hard because I don't have an answer for this yet myself. But the question is, if the Marshall Garden Company had a theme song, what would it be?
Uh, some song that says "grow."
Grow. Don't stop believing.
No, no.
What could the song be? Oh, I got one. It's probably, and this is not like a fast paced song, but like that old "Everybody Loves the Sunshine." We love that song. I don't know. We got to think about that.
Yeah.
Um,
There'll definitely be music
Oh, there'll be
playing out
music,
here.
great music, and we listen to all the music.
Yeah,
Um, who's most likely to cry at ribbon cutting? Be honest.
that'd be you. That'd be you.
No, you cry at love stories, and I'm telling my husband's business. It'll be him.
We'll see.
We'll see. um, let's see. Why do you want to build in Marshall and not somewhere else?
It's really pretty over here. East Texas is really, really beautiful. The woods, the trees are beautiful. The greenery, um, the history, and you know, just East Texas culture of growing things is
Special.
special. And then there's a whole other thing about there's two box store garden centers in the town, but there's no other really good garden center for you know independent an independent garden center in Marshall.
We got a few good places.
There's a couple small plant places, but
We got some
not
good
not
places.
a full garden center.
I think that's part of why I want to build here. So I'm rooted here, rooted in
Hmm.
East Texas. You'll see that on some of our website and merch and all that stuff that's coming in. But I want to be a part of rebuilding, or not rebuilding, because people plant stuff here and they've never stopped planting stuff here. But I want to be a part of that, like the people that grow stuff here. I want to be in that club.
Didn't you say there used to be a garden center here?
When I was a kid, and I guess when you're a kid, you romanticize everything, and everything is huger than life. But I remember going to my favorite garden center over across the street from the Marshall Pottery back in the day. There was a garden center kind of across the street from that, and I loved that place. It just was magical to me. Had all these big old trees, and everything felt shaded. I don't know. You felt, it's cheesy, but you felt like you were someplace. Um, and I think that, like, to be a part of giving great products to people so that people can have great gardens, I think that's magical. And like I said, there are some people that are doing some really, really cool stuff around here. And my hope is together we're able to shine a light on all that, and folks can have more stuff to choose from. But then also, like, people that are a little nervous about getting started, that they can do it. But I think Marshall is a special place to grow stuff. East Texas is a special place to grow stuff and work in your yard and work on the land. And I want to be a part of that.
And I think the maths. So it really works out with the demographic around here, the amount of people, the number of households to support a garden center. And so you take all of those factors in together, and it makes good, I believe, business sense.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense for us to do what we dream to do.
What makes the Marshall Garden Company different than other garden centers, big box or whatever? What makes us different? Or what will make us different? Because right now we are.
Well, I think we're different than the other big box stores in town. That we'd be more um, knowledgeable about the plants and be more have better quality plants, better cared for plants. We care about our customers, plants after they leave here, and that they're going to grow and bloom and be pretty. And so we can give that knowledge and instruction and help, you know, have that touch with the community to have a you know aftercare of after purchase of the plants.
Yeah.
You know,
I think one of the things that will make us different, and this maybe there's a question about this on this fantastic list of questions we have here. But I think one of the things that will make us different is, it is important to me to build a place that's for Marshall for the long haul. So Todd and I, we're both built our great careers, and we are investing our time, our talent, and our treasures into coming to Marshall. And we're focused in on doing it in a way that you talked about, like making the math make sense. So like we're kind of, as they say, we're bootstrapping our business and being really thoughtful about like how we invest our money so that we can have a sustainable business. And one of the things that comes to mind for me, and one of the ways I think we will be different is, I don't know that every couple, every family, every person is going to want to have a garden center, but I hope that we're an inspiration to people to go find the thing that you love, build that at home, right? So both of us were lucky enough to build our careers in the city, but at some point you got to come back home and pour some into your home, and I hope that we are a reflection of that.
Yeah.
um and in that, like, I love all the things. I want all the jewels, all the bags. I want all the vacations. But like right now, I want this. And so we're being really thoughtful on like, we saved our money. We're building a business. We could have been doing other things, but we're like, we're going in on this and doing it in a way where, gosh, I think about like, I got friends and family that start a business and rent is hard. And so to be able to, we're going to slow roll this. We're not taking out some huge loan and having a building up in 6 months. And we're not doing it that way for a reason, because once we open, we want to be open. And I dream of like 40 years from now when I am puttering around that, like, I don't, it goes to someone else that is able to keep running a really successful business. And I don't know, some of that's scary, but more than it's scary, it's like, it's how faith works for me.
I think, you see some businesses that get going and they all start small.
Hmm.
Um, I have mentors who started businesses in their garage, built it out of their garage, went to a small you know building, and then went from that smaller building to something else that's bigger, and then went from that something else to another, you know, something bigger. But but as the business grew, it was able to grow,
Yeah.
in size. And it was very sustainable that way.
Hmm.
Um, I think we've been blessed, and you want to invest your money in a way that is going to be able to provide for you
Yeah.
in the future.
One of the things that gives me hope in doing this is, so I hope to be like, I want to teach people how to garden. I want people, and not just me teaching, I want other gardeners to help gardeners learn. But when I think about starting this business and why Marshall, and what lets me know it's going to work, we talk a lot about like the garden centers, and the reality is we've been able to reach out to folks and they are like willing to answer the questions. But the same has been true with, like we talked about with Lundale and the land, and making sure that the pond is right. Um, being able to reach out to those experts, like being able to reach out to like, hey, buddy, Julie, we need some help figuring out how to set up the accounting and the bookkeeping and the banking. Um, it's crazy, but like some of the best calls I have had have been with the Texas Department of Agriculture, which you would think, oh my God, I don't want to have to call a State Department. But when I tell you they have helped us figure out, how do we get this license? Like, how, wait a minute now, we don't have a building yet. So what do I need to and people just really being encouraging and helpful. And I think, like, just like we'll help some people start gardens, I hope that people see us and they're like, oh, that dream I have, let me start putting pencil to paper and then start walking this forward. Because that's the hard part to me. The hard part of starting this business is like, okay, let's walk. And let's be comfortable saying, hey, I'm not an accountant. Hey, I don't know what the Department of Agriculture, tell me what this means. What's this question mean?
Yeah.
And to know that I don't have to be the expert, and that people a lot of the times will be happy to help you um if you bring some happy to the table also.
Yeah, I mean, starting a business is there's a lot of unknowns. It's not unknowns. It's I don't know the answer to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the answer to. So we have to figure out the answer to it, and not all of them are really hard questions. They're just we got to go ask the right people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the key is asking the right people, because you ask somebody else that doesn't know, but they'll tell you something that's off. But um,
So here's the next one. This is a good one. What advice would you give another couple thinking about building a business together?
do it.
Easier.
Go do it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think do it is part of it. I also think like be really thoughtful about each one of your strengths, and be willing to know, hey, here's the stuff I'm good at, here's the stuff my partner is good at, and let's make these things work together. And then I think when you know what you're good at, you also know, hey, here's the stuff neither of us are really good at.
that's the struggle. Is
Like,
when you have a
neither
blind
of us
spot that
are
you
good
both
at
have the
this.
same blind spot.
But when you have those blind spots, be willing to say, like me, it's both Todd and I, we both have been like, man, we'll both take care of all of our paperwork, but neither of us love doing that. So because we know that's a thing that neither of us really love doing, um, be honest with yourselves about that sort of stuff, and know that that's not like a weakness on you as a couple or as a person, but like, hey, those are the things we're gonna have to make sure we get some help with. But I like Todd. Todd's got the best advice. Do it.
Yeah, do it. And do it sooner than later. Don't
Mm-hmm.
wait. You know, um,
Yeah. Well,
I
we.
heard something great this
Go
week
ahead.
that I thought was really really good, and it was about when to get started. And if you wait to get started until everything is perfect, you'll never get started because nothing is ever perfect.
Yeah.
I always say, strive for perfection, but the result is excellence. Well, you know, that's a high standard to try to stay after. That's a Vince Lombardi, but you can do that and not have everything you need. And if you wait for everything to be perfect, there is no perfect.
Yeah.
So
When
you have to take that's the leap of an entrepreneur.
when Todd and I first got together, um, and we were like moving and getting more serious with one another in our relationship, he used to say like, "Oh, we're gonna build something together. We're gonna build something together." And like when the butterflies and the hearts are shooting out of my ears, because that's what happens to a girl like me when this guy's like he's saying all the things. Um, One of the things that I recognized that was a literal thing for him, and part of building something was like we're gonna build our home, we're building our family, we build our faith together, we build all sorts of stuff in this relationship. But one of them can also be to build a business. And it could be you can build a huge business. I'm with that if
You
that's what a
should build
couple
a
wants to
business.
do. But you should a small business or something together. I think that it brings different challenges because my God, today we were ready to get at each other where the chairs could go sit for right now. Um, but it brings some challenges, but it also is a way to kind of bring you closer to one another. Both Todd and I are in our 40s, and I guess you go through these life transitions, and through all those transitions, we both are the type of people that want challenges in life. And my God, this is gonna be a challenge, but I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
I wouldn't either.
um, if this land could talk, what do you think it would say about us right now?
Thankfully, somebody's here finally to take care of me.
That's what it's gonna say it again.
Yeah, it's like a stray dog or something. Oh, thank you so much for you're finally somebody. I found an owner who'll take care of me. It's a pretty piece of property.
It's gonna say thank you. That's what the land's gonna say to you.
Yeah,
So
thank you
I
for.
think the land's gonna be saying like, "You owe me a thank you." I think it probably is like those they're crazy.
I couldn't think of a more pretty place to come spend your day, every day, toil in the sun, in the dirt and work, and you know,
Yeah,
spend the next 10 years. It's just the birds are singing. It's pretty.
yeah. You got time for some more of these questions before
Yeah,
we get to it? Who had, oh, maybe I asked this. Did I ask this already? Who had the wildest idea that actually turned into plans?
I don't think you asked that. Um,
I got one.
what is it?
So, Todd, the last time we were here, he shared with me that he wants to build like a walkway all the way around the pond. And I knew he wanted something like that. But he talked about wanting a kind of bridge situation. And that's a wild idea, but I'm all about it.
So,
That's the long game. So it might not be a bridge at grand opening, but there will eventually be a
so
cute
Chris
little
Clampett.
bridge.
Matter of fact,
Yeah.
this wood I might have to do it with some of this wood. Chris Clampett built a bridge over his bridge. He was my uncle. My aunt and him no longer together, but anyway, he's still my uncle. um, he built the bridge, and he built it out of wood and laid it up and all that stuff over his pond. It is absolutely stunning, and I would love to do the same thing with this pond here over this edge over here. I could see doing it. Um,
Okay.
but I need some good big pieces of wood to do it with. I didn't even think about it when I was seeing this wood that's out here. Now I have a reason to keep some of it.
There was one more really good question on here. It is describe the garden center in 3 words. Pause.
I'm trying to think of 3 words.
I got remarkable is one. And remarkable is one of my favorite words. And I got to give credit to the great Seth Godin, the marketing genius who helped me learn stuff outside of class because I just have followed him forever. But he says remarkable, the definition of remarkable is worth leaving a remark. And I want my business to be worth leaving a remark. Now, my goal is to make people have the remark be like these super incredible things. But anything worth doing is worth doing it in a way where people leave a remark.
Yeah, anything worth
Remarkable.
doing is doing right. I think that's one of the things we are striving to do
Yeah.
here is to do it right the first time, not do it the wrong way. Um, remarkable is a good word.
Remarkable.
That's a good
That's
word.
mine.
That's only one word
more?
though.
You want another one from me? You don't have any?
No, I mean it's beautiful, remarkable, sustainable.
Sustainable's a good word. I like sustainable. That's a good word.
Yeah. I did want to say one other thing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned someone who put the word remarkable in your vocabulary there, or made it lasting impression. And I think impressions from people that have been in our lives, like the Chris Clampetts or the Tim Rushers or the people that have been in your lives, are something we have gotten to a point where we want to take some of these things we've learned from other people and other times in life and throughout your entire life and put it into your and have a reason behind it, and you can point to that person taught me this or this person, and not to say I came up with this on my own, but give honor to the person who taught you that this or that, or left an impression, like, you know.
So you want to hear my other word?
Sure.
It was community.
Community. There's a really good one.
like knowing who your tribe, and always being willing to grow your tribe. Because I like you talked about Tim and like these people that leave an impact. I talk about Cheryl Boswell all the time because she's like a great person. She's my boss at the Y, but she was just a fantastic woman. And like online now, I see her retiring on social media, and her garden is banging. But like it is important to pay honor to those people that have those moments in your life. Um, and
Yeah.
part of the reason I think we're starting this business is because you might just come in and buy a hydrangea for your mama for Mother's Day and head out the door. But I hope that I leave a mark and that it's a good mark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I envision, our front porch here having people come on a regular basis and having a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
That would be, you know, fantastic to me.
Well, I got a couple of cheesy questions if you want those.
Okay.
One of them is I got these off Chat GPT. What's your go-to building a garden center outfit, and would you wear it on a date night?
The answer is absolutely yes.
He would. What's the outfit?
What I'm wearing right now.
It's his uniform.
Yep.
Dress shorts, and he usually has on a polo shirt, but in the weekends he wears a t-shirt.
Yep.
I don't know what my go-to garden center outfit is.
And I
I
got
think I'm gonna have a wardrobe change through today.
and since we're in a garden center, I got a new foot edition, which is a rubber boot, and I love these rubber boots, and I wore them last weekend to our favorite Italian place,
He sure did.
and I didn't hesitate to wear these rubber boots in there.
So, a relationship advice or advice to couples: love your person for them being your person, because he sure did wear his rubber boots right on in the dinner. Let's see. When this place is done, and right, we talk about we got like this 18 months. So in the next couple of years, we hope to see. We don't hope to see. We will see a whole garden center here, and it's gonna be celebration time. When this place is done, where's the first chair you're sitting in, and what are you looking at? I already know my answer. I can't wait to answer
I think I want to set a chair in the parking lot and just stare at the whole thing.
it.
I envision having some sort of party, and the party will be started in the parking lot coming into the place. And so I don't know. It'll probably be sitting. I don't know. I want to be able to see the whole thing.
So that's a good answer. And you can sit in the parking lot. That ain't fabulous enough.
It's not much of a
For me.
parking lot.
I am going to be sitting in there's going to be this demonstration garden, and there's probably going to be some sort of pergola or shade situation in that area, and I imagine there are going to be some benches out there, and I plan on I probably will sit there because I will have been like pinching off leaves and making sure that those flowers are perfect. But I'm probably going to be sitting right in the demonstration garden first, and after that, once I've sweat and and I've taken a little clean myself up a little bit, then I'm going to sit on the front porch with a glass of an Arnold Palmer unsweet tea lemonade. Bring it to me, baby. And I'm going to rock and say, look what God did. Look what God did. Anything else you want to share with the people before we kind of walk around a little bit, Todd?
No.
Say something.
I'm looking forward to sitting on the front porch drinking that Arnold Palmer with you. That's gonna be nice.
There will be Arnold Palmers. Thanks for doing this.
We're doing a good job.